Hey YouTube, it's Leah Lauder, your favorite mega church cult survivor. And as you know, I'm live on TikTok and I'm also going to go live on Instagram. So let's get it in 3, 2, 1. And welcome Instagram. It's Leah Lauder, your favorite mega church cult survivor. And I am live. And I'm live on YouTube and I'm live on TikTok. And today we're going to get it. All right. Because Ginger J, let me swap you Instagram and TikTok. So you can't see the background, but basically there's some geezer called Ginger J. He's been running around in these online back chat, kitchen chat, doing up the most. Basically he came at a black queen telling her about under her wig, she ain't got no hair. That's why he doesn't date black women, because they can't be told this, that, and the third. I'm just like, oh, is that how it felt with mummy, babe? Maybe his mum was a 304. Was it like that? Was it like when you didn't want the man them to come or whatever with mummy, and you're taking out that aggression and anger? Because really what it's saying is, like, he said, you can't speak to these black women. Who are you talking about, babe? I would love to know who he is. He must be talking about his mother, because it's so much deep internalized hate towards women, and what he's on. Sorry guys, I'm trying to find my remote. What this ginger guy's on is just giving like self hate to such a depth that it must be rooted in his mother, because the most messed up ones, there's usually a lot of mother wounds there. So we definitely know that, because he's just a mess. Do you know what I'm saying? And men who don't have a mother's love, or who aren't raised by queens, this is the outcome. This is the result. This is what we get. And I don't care. I'll say this to his face. I'll say this anytime, anywhere. You know what I'm like. Do you know what I mean? I'm not a social media influencer, babe. He admitted he doesn't like how his mum acts, so he doesn't want to be BLAK. Oh, all right. So does that justify him going around and abusing other women? I know a plethora of men. My ex, yeah, I don't even want to say too much to bait him up, but my ex, his mum was so cruel. They had this house, yeah, and his mum had the big room, like it was like a loft. It was massive. She put the two of them in this little box room. It was mad. Like, them selfish mums, they just don't care. Like, she had her man there. She cared more about the man than her own kids. That's the vibe with him. But did that guy go around disrespecting black women? No, he loves black women same way, man. It's the black women that come to give and show them love. So I'm sorry, I don't care. Thanks for the follow, Mavis. I don't mina care. That's what I'm saying, mina care. Do you know what I mean? Now he's gonna get an education lesson. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, because there's gonna be many black queens coming out and educating this one. That's what he needs. It's not even therapy, it's just education. Like, he needs to understand the history of black women. Do you understand what I'm saying? So I've done that content already earlier. Do you get it? So now, let's do it. 1 second, guys. Hey DJ, you play that song all night, on and on and on. I'm just finding where I am. Let's do it. All right. So now that I've unpacked that, I want to go into, welcome YouTube. I want to go into the demonization of African spirituality in church cults, because my point is, I was on a live for about 2 seconds. I think the guy blocked me, bloody cheek. You know that Mark Cubain, that idiot that was doing up whatever with Esther. You know the clout chaser, the one that was riding on Esther's D. Hey, grand uprising, my love. Oh, thanks, Ray. And my point is, people are saying, oh, he shouldn't get cancelled. I don't like cancel culture, this, that, and the third, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, if you do something, there's consequences for your actions. Even though I've got trauma, you don't see me going around and HAT and men. And it's just how the individual's got to work through the trauma and the healing. And it had to take this for him to, hopefully he's looking at himself in the mirror and saying no. But a lot of these people, they'll just come on and say whatever. Do you know what I mean? Because that's who he truly is within. That's why I'm not having, there's no excuses here. Do you understand what I'm saying? Thanks for the follow, babe, because it's not about an accountability video. This is going to take years of him deconstructing the toxicity within African culture, the colorism. I've broken this all down. The internalized HATE towards BLK women, the projection. He can't come out with a video 5 minutes later chatting about my mental health. We don't care. Because mental health aside, baby, we know that your mental health's not right because you don't love yourself. But what we need to focus on right here is you understanding that BLK women are queens. That's all we care about. That's all we care about. You getting it together and understanding that. Do you understand? Because you are that yourself. You came out of your mother's vagina, babe. So for you, that's so deep. That's going to take years. He shouldn't be on the internet. He needs to go within. He needs to come off the net and he needs to focus on his own healing journey before he starts coming on these airwaves and starting to have any type of opinion. He needs to go into hermit mode and go and fix himself. If he doesn't do that, then he's clout chasing and riding off the back of the bad press. And then we know that he hasn't really changed. And he's not going, man like him don't. Do you understand what I'm saying? They're misogynists. They're patriarchs. Do you understand what I'm telling you? You get it? He can't have that power over the BLK woman because he is not a powerful man. He's not a king. If he doesn't love his mum and he HATEs his mum, that's how he feels about himself. The woman that gave birth to you, don't like the woman that gave birth to you. Good luck to your girlfriend. I hear she's Asian. Like, good luck, babe. Because these type of man them that don't have no LOVE in their heart for their mum, woo, these type of man them will unalive you in your sleep. So to my gal that's dealing with my man, you see me, I'm from the real life roads. You get me? A man like that. Anyway, she'll learn, yeah. She'll learn. And then she'll be one of these ones internalizing HATE towards black men and all this. It's just a reoccurring cycle. Do you know what I mean? And I'm sick of it, man. I'm just gonna say it as it is. Minakir. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because if you think you're going to come online talking about BLK women, you got another thing coming, bro. You got another blood clot thing coming. If I don't care, if your mum didn't teach you, guess what? All the BLK women on TikTok are going to teach you to get it together and get it right. Because there's no way you're going to come on the internet doing that up. Not a day in your life. It's not going to slide. Do you understand what I'm saying? And we are going to unpack this and we're going to understand. What I want to say, Layla in the car, what I want to say right here is I'm a mega church cult survivor. So I'm going to be doing this from a church cult lens because all of these type of man them end up becoming pastors when they get cancelled in the world, okay? And go on to become very toxic BLK cults with that attend. My live's very sensitive. So what I'm saying is someone was saying, oh, he's cancelled. I'm saying, yes, he is cancelled, but not in the church. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like they're so indoctrinated, they'll take anyone in there. And he's a man with this rhetoric and these misogynistic, IT supremacy, self HATE that thrives in these environments. Because guess what? The mob wants to be a IT so bad that everything in there is YT coded. All their promo, they'll have 500 people in the church. They'll have a handful of YT members, maybe 10, and that's the ones that will showcase in all of the photos. Do you understand? This is deep-rooted internalized ASM that's going back to slavery. We're going to get into all of it anyway. We're going to get into it. We're going to unpack this. So where I am right now is I'm looking at the demonization of African spirituality and church cults because he HATEs himself and he HATEs everything that comes with that. So that's his Africanness, that's the BLK-ness, that's all of that. So spirituality, and I'm going to call them CCs, guys. Are my mods on deck? Colonial inheritance. European missionaries deliberately branded African spiritual systems, ancestor veneration, goddess traditions, divination, healing practices as witchcraft or demonic to justify erasure and to promote Christian supremacy. So cult leaders inherit and reproduce this language. Anything outside their dogma is of the devil. I'm going to chat to you real quick. Jesus Pulse, the YT guy that's been going around doing up all this aggressive evangelism. I've gone to look on his YouTube and I'm going to cover this. But do you see when the YT man comes into it, he just takes it to another level. You've got Jesse on the road curb acting like a 304, like he's shotting himself on the street, and Ollie as well, because these are men of color. Then when we get Jesus Pulse coming into it, because this is where the whole faith has originated from, is colonization. So we see now when we get Jesus Pulse, the YT guy coming into it, now he's saying he needs 250 million pounds because he wants to employ 100 street preachers to be preaching the gospel. So do you see how Jesus Pulse is the leader? Because when they step in the cut, the Smiths, Wigglesworth, these are all the originals that brought this way of thinking, this dynamic, this psychology, brought it into the African diasporas. So now what we're seeing that this guy's taken it to a completely different level because that's within his epigenetics. His ancestors were doing that. And I will do some content on it, but because you lot are trying to be active in the comments, I had to let you know exactly what I'm on. Do you understand what I'm saying? Yeah. No one's coming on in your wildest dreams. Because I'll just do what I need to do up myself. I mean, I care. I'll just do it myself. I'll take the time out to get you all off. I don't care, bruv. All right. So cult leaders inherit and reproduce this language. Anything outside their dogma is of the devil. And so we're going to look at the effect that this has on BLK women. So African spiritual roles, healers, priestesses, is that diviners, diviners were historically women centered or balanced. So when cults demonize this heritage, they're also erasing BLK women's ancient religious authority. Survivors often internalize shame for their ancestral roots, intuition, or even bodily wisdom. So they strip us of all of like our birthrights, our ancestral lineage and our bloodline. They cut it off, and then they make us worship these mogs. And so there's like a transference. So you put on the cult pseudo personality. So if you're a Caribbean, do you get what I'm saying? And the cult is predominantly a Nigerian cult, you'll see them putting on an accent, speaking, talking like that, maybe taking on the dialect, the language, etc., to socially conform and feel accepted. Because at the essence of it, when we look at Maslow's hierarchy of needs, everybody needs to feel like they belong, to feel like they feel part of, and that's the whole ideology of a community. So most of the people that go to these spaces are rejects of society, like him. Do you understand what I'm saying? And then they find solace in hyper religiosity to cover their wounds, so they don't actually deal with the trauma. So do you see that when we get someone like this rebranding as a porter or a mog or whatever 10 years later, he has internalized his HATE towards BLK women, and everyone in his church cult is a BLK women, because we know mostly BLK women are the builders of church cults. They talk about all of these YT missionaries that came to bring us Pentecost, but who's really been building civilizations and religious institutions and whatever since the beginning of time? And within this context, all women have, guys, I'm not trying to make this to isolate another race, but I'm talking about this in context to Ginger J, because he did speak specifically about BLK women. So all women are queens. We're all on the same page. I'd like to think that all women from other races, all human race, one race. Unfortunately, they've created this social construct because we're all BLK, just different shades, from the lightest of light to the darkest of dark. So I have to talk about it in context to this, because it is a social construct that's created, and through those very constructs, we experience institutionalized ageism, intersectionality on many different levels. The list goes on and on. All right. So I love you all, queens, but in context to the conversation and this idiot, I'm going to have to talk about BLK women. All right. So I'm talking within the African diasporas and beyond, but we've migrated from those diasporas into Europe, the Americas, whatever. Suppression of BLK's women's authority in cult settings. So YT coded hierarchies, church cults unconsciously replicate IT supremacy, lighter skinned or more European looking women are elevated into visible roles, e.g. worship leaders, first ladies, choir frontliners. So women like myself, where they would see, I think I look like a BLK woman, you know, from like to the bone, yeah. But in these, when you go into these types of settings, there's so much uneducation, there's so much uncle and auntie ignorance, that they see me as a oyimbo or a Obroni woman. Do you understand what I'm saying? So they don't see me as it's BLK, my love, like BLM, BLK woman. Do you understand? Because they fit a respectable, palatable image for outsiders, darker skinned, curvier, or more, you know what, presenting. So women from those diasporas, beginning with A and ending in A, they present more like a woman from back home. Whereas because you've got to remember, Europe is the cash cow. This is where they come and make all the money. So it's got to be palatable for the Europeans, and the beauty standard here is different. So we are actually the minority in this country. So for them to appeal, and it's all about the coins, they want to get the money, and that translates into like international ministry. That's why they've all got international at the end, because they worship the YT colonizer. So they want to be international real bad, to show that they've got other people in the cult, but also be able to appeal to other people, because it's all about that shmoney. Okay, so that's why They want the more palatable looking people because it's a business, so they can sell it. Because if you get a lady coming like this, she say, "Hello, good evening. My name's Leah Lauder, and I'm from Mustard Seed Chapel International. I've just come to speak to you about an event that we've got going on in a couple of months." Yes, we've got it going on. It's Dagiud Mills. He's a renowned worldwide prophet and evangelist. He's a medical doctor by profession. You know, like, are you all right? You have to be able to talk the language. There's certain aunties that won't even approach certain women to ask them for directions because it's like they think that they're aces. They think they don't like them. But me, chair, you all right, love? Babe, is there a chippy round there? Are you? Can you tell me? Because I've been trying to look for a bleak chippy for about a month round there now, and I can't find it. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Take that, love. I'd get that, love. That'll do you a turn. I'm very eclectic. I've had many different experiences with many different cultures and whatever. So I'm not, I love myself. It doesn't matter where I go. I'm a star. Anyone's going to talk to me. Yes, I'm talking to you. Yes, speak to me, Jay. I'm speaking to you. I'm asking you a blood clot question. But because they're ruled by internalized acism and the colonizers, it's like the women from back home, they're like laves, even to me. They act like the way they see me is like they worship me. And it's like, come on, man, love yourself. We got to deconstruct, man. Because when I first started coming out and I was speaking to the survivors from the aunties back home and that, I was getting so frustrated. I just had to start blocking them and just locking them off because I was like, at this point, you're trying to be a cult leader to me and dictate and tell me what I can do and what I can. It's feeling very judgy. And it's feeling like you're trying to colonize my mind all over again. So these mogs and these uncles that come over to start these these religious institutions, yeah, they colonize the mind. And everything that they do, there's the colonization in it. That's why they're all about dominion, territory, taking over. Taking over Maidstone. We're taking over this territory. Shabaya Satayaka. We come against all the enemy. It's all about territory, souls, whatever. Because that's the dominion. That's the colonization. Do you understand what I'm saying? That's what they brought to us. So that's what they emulate. I'm really trying to stop myself from, because you know on the internet everything will and can be used against you. So there's certain things out my mouth chair, because the way I feel about this guy, the things I would have been saying. Thanks for the follow, Cherry Saucy. But the things I would have been saying, because I don't care about getting cancelled, but I have to care about the survivors because everybody's like, Leah, the space we need that. Because you know me, Layla, you know me, Minakir. You think I care about getting cancelled, bruv? Oh my god, you lot didn't see how I came on when I first came. I don't care about all that, chair. Do you know what I'm saying? I get attention when I walk down the street. I own the street as my catwalk. The man them are bowing. Do you want to see my snap right now? I don't have time for this. Do you know what I'm saying? Mailbox over. It's overflowing, jail. I don't need the internet, baby. Yeah, like me as 90s, fine. Are you all right? But I just got to be careful. I don't want it to get luck off. Love you. Is that my cherry pie? All right. So patriarchal silencing, and I just want to say that the back home presenting women are sidelined into urban positions. So you'll see them being ushers, you'll see them being cooks, you'll see them being cleaners, you'll see them cleaning the toilets, you'll see them doing decorations. You won't see them. You'll get Polly, who's come in. It's her first weekend already. She's singing, the main singer. Yeah, never centre front, never. They're always pushed to the back, and all the pretty girls, like the lighties, all of that, they all put them at the front of the choir. Like it's real, man. They know what they're doing, man. They know what they're doing, especially people who aren't like put together stuff. They put them in the back. That's why watch the choir. Like I was a choir director, and what we would have to do is like switch people. So the people that don't look presentable, you check everyone, you give people places to stand. Everything is so controlled. It's so controlled. Patriarchal silencing. Cult leaders reinforce submission doctrines, citing scripture to strip women of leadership or interpretive authority. BLK women's voices, especially those with a strong presence, are labeled rebellious, Jezebels, or witches. Any woman that doesn't fit the grain of the societal norms, and you know, like a pushover, a Molly the maid, that's not a pick me. A woman like me that don't cur is confident, because a woman like me, it's like I'll come on here looking crazy, like every guy that comes on will want to blow out the back, yeah. But I've been celibate for 2 years. So no one's touching me and no one is going to touch me. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? So I'm confident in my sensuality, and I'm not doing that for a man because I don't want a man. I don't want a man. Do you know what I'm saying? I was chatting to a guy for 2 minutes and I've had to lock him off already. My whatever threshold is really, really thin. I just don't deal with human fecal matter. Hey, welcome. Hey, Artie. Do you understand? So women like me get labeled as witches, Jezebels, rebellious, this, that, and the third, because it's like we're not a lay for a man. We're not worshipping the man. They want the woman that will worship them. The pick-me's will worship the man. I don't. The man has to worship me, because that's why those relationships don't work. Them men will be. They'll talk about women. You know the most like feminine type of man that you could marry, and this is what most of these mandem are like that marry. Yeah, they'll see a girl like me and they'll be like, oh, look at her, she's you know, like gossiping with the wife to because usually they're the cheaters, so they'll be gossiping with the wife, you know, like to validate her, to make her feel some type of way and be laughing and whatever. But then every time he sees me when he's not with the wife, if I wanted to go true, I could have gone true. There's so many. It's so sad. It's so sad the position that they find themselves in. That's why I don't really blame the mistress, you know. I think these gal, them are enablers. Do you know what I mean? And half of the time they know the man is cheating and they're just there. Do you know what I mean? They enable it. So I just say, get that bag. Do you know what I mean? Just don't fall in love with them. That'll be your biggest mistake, falling in love with one of them. Do you know what I'm saying? It'll take you years to heal. So just rinse them dry, man, because the woman's an idiot. Do you know what I mean? Instead of focusing on your kids, do you get what I'm saying? Getting him to man up so that you could be doing more for the kids. He's giving all of the extras that you could be giving to your kids, getting yourself nice things. He's doing that up with a side piece. And there you are, and you know about it, and you're just there. This is what I want. You were a dream that you could not have been, a fantasy. Real. This is how the man them used to talk about us black queens. Reading, baby, this rhythm inside. I need to teach the young queens. You make me feel and feel loved and feel loved. Show me paradise. Yeah, you get me. Shorty might realize you're the highest of the high. This is how we talk about black women. If you don't know, say it. So don't ever wonder. Don't ever wonder. This song's called Ascension. Thanks, Cherry. This is called Ascension. This is how my man's talking. You're the highest of the high. So what you're helping me do, Black Queen, is ascend. That's how my man used to talk about us. Now we got this idiot on the internet doing up this. It's got to change, man. It's embarrassing. I saw your interview about that church girl. Guess what? They tried to lure me into their church. Oh, it reads, I saw your interview about that church. Girl, guess what? They tried to lure me into their church. Which one, girl? Which one are you talking about? You know, there's so many of them outside, yeah. You got to be specific, Queen. You know, they're all out here. Was it Caris? If a man ain't making me feel like this, I don't want it. All right. So, body shaming. So we're going to talk about body shaming now, because what they do up in these church cults is they use windows for preaching, yeah, because these mogs are washed up. Like the last time they've had any type of experience has been like in the 80s or, you know, years ago. So they use everyone else's business in the cult to be chatting from the pulpit, because they're in self-sealing systems, yeah. So everybody chats everyone's business. So they do a lot of body shaming towards women from back home. Like they'll say things like, oh, you want to marry a Coca-Cola bottle? So when she walks, you see her waist is thing. So it's like women are again over sexualized. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like they're made to be, it's very perverse. So men feel like if they marry women like that, they're going to look worldly or sinful or whatever. So it's deep, guys. So targeting curvaceous bodies, the cult overlays Eurocentric standards of beauty and purity. BLK women's hips, thighs, their chest are natural markers of African femininity, and they are reframed as sinful temptations or stumbling blocks for men. When I used to hear them talk about like, oh, you need to cover your bunda, this and that, your curve, and it's like some women, no matter what they wear, they could wear tracksuit bottoms, a long top over jeans, you're still gonna see their shape. Do you understand what I'm saying? They've been blessed with curvaceous figures. Do you understand? That's the way they've been created, and the way they demonize it in there, the pressure. I couldn't imagine what it would have felt like to be a woman in the church cult with that type of figure and the things that they used to say. And again, I do have to acknowledge that even though I don't have a direct whitey parent, I do have to accept that there is whitey blood in me because I've done my DNA and it is 47%. And I do need to be acknowledged that otherwise I'd be delusional AF. I am aware that women of darker tones, whatever, will experience acism on a different intersectional level than me. I am totally self-aware of that. And I also need to factor in that because, you know, like my body isn't like how I'm more like the Renaissance paintings though. I'm not like a BLK, like really curvy. And so those things will go over my head because I'm not curvaceous. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? So again, this is reflection for me because it's like raw. I'm just like being an empath right now and putting myself into these queen's shoes. Do you get what I'm saying? That are curvaceous. Do you understand? And I'm thinking, how would they feel? Do you know what? He's done out. He's done out because all he said was something about a black girl's hair. That's why he doesn't go for BLK women because we don't listen or whatever human fecal matter he was doing. But now we're deconstructing what he was doing. We're deprogramming it because, as we said, BLKs are queens. Don't step into this vicinity if you don't want none. If you don't want none, Chair. If you don't want none, don't come in here and step in the car. Do you understand what I'm telling you? That's not what we're doing up. I know I was very shocked myself. That's in my because it goes back to like what did they call it? Like lavery economy. Like the economy, you know, like back in the slave trade when they used to take the slaves and have them as house girls and grate them and essay them. It's in my blood. Like it's in a lot of people's blood. Do you understand what I'm telling you? My surname Lauder is Scottish. Do you get it? My grandmother is a black Jamaican, a whitey Jamaican woman. Do you get me? So she's born in Jamaica, but her parents are whitey Scottish that migrated to Jamaica. And then they all started marrying and the kids, the Jamaicans, do you understand, them mixing. But again, they were acist, and so was my great grandmother. She preferred the lighter kids. To understand what I said, she didn't want my granddad to marry my nan because my nan was a dark skinned woman. Yeah, from my mum's side, my granddad looks like Cuban, like an Indian. He's got that hair, that like straight hair, that same color. My granddad, but you tell him that he gets so angry and he, you know, cuss you out in Jamaican, and you couldn't tell my granddad that he wasn't BLK. So he was part of the Black Panthers and everything, the movement in the 80s and stuff. Was it the 80s, the 60s? Sorry. So I've got quite a strong lineage and like, you know, like BLK rights and stuff like that. So I'm very passionate about it. That's why I don't really talk about it because it's a lot. Anyway, I don't know why I was saying all of that, but yeah, it's just, you know, there's a lot that we need to unpack with this. Look, now I'm talking about my granddad and I'm talking about my frigging grandmother and how, do you know what I mean? They would, and my mum's like my color, and they saw in my family in America, my mum would be classed as dark skin. Like we're classed as dark because over there they're all mixed with Latina blood, and do you understand what I'm saying? Like they got all the long hair, they're very fair skin. Do you understand? So my mum experienced a lot of acism growing up in Miami because she went back and forth from Miami, where most of our family are, in Florida, Orlando, and you know how it is in the Latina community. It's so colorist. Like you see, there's obviously Afro-Caribbean Latinas, but yeah, so they used to go on different with my mum, and she's like my color. So chair. All right, something for us to think about, eh? So they make our curvaceous figures and, you know, like the figures from back home seen as sinful, like a temptation. So the psychological effect, this produces deep body shame. Survivors are taught to see their bodies as inherently too much, dangerous or dirty or temptation, or the cause for men to sin and fall. There was a girl back in the day, yeah, like she went to a certain branch. That's what they say in my court. This girl was beautiful. Guys, do you not know what if I say coolie, do you understand what coolie is? Let me give you a quick lesson. So, like, just in the Caribbean, BLK, the hood, I don't know where it comes from. I think it comes from Yard. But anyway, the coolie gal, I like to beg it and say I'm coolie, but I'm not quite dark enough. I can't beg that. The coolie gal, them, they've got like very dark skin, but they're like Indian. So they've got the dark skin, and then they'll just have the bone straight, like Indian long hair, and they're quite rare. They look like the Caribs. That's what they really are, like the Caribs, like the natural Caribs. So when you see a gal looking like that, like Castillo, imagine if Castillo was a gal. You know Castillo from Backchat? That's coolie. He's a coolie man, them, yeah. Yeah, so like that kind of thing, half Indian, half Trini, but they can just have that look. They don't necessarily have to be, but a lot of them usually have Trini or Indian, that type of mix in them. So what was my point? Why was I saying that? Oh yeah. So this gal, she had that look to her, but she was like half Ghanaian. She was like mixed race, but she came out like dark skin, like darker than me, mixed race, and she had the cut. This girl was stunning. 10 out of 10. And she had body. You know, it's so dangerous when a girl's beautiful and she's got body. That they really do get exploited by men. That's what saved me, because I was lanky. I was like a cardboard iron board box for years. I only started to come into myself really when I was 17. I started getting little hips, and I was the flat. Actually, I had chest, but I was just skinny, so I looked like, you know, like a pen with like. Then you just got these. Oh, it was wild, man. I look weird. I had some weird thing going in. And so I started to grow into, so the older man, them, they weren't really, because they usually go for the curvaceous girl, them, innit? So the older man, them, didn't really prey on me like that. That's why I said to you, like, I feel like I've been raised, because I sing. They'd be like, Leah, come. They'd be like, Leah, come and sing that tune. Come and sing that tune for us. Time on my hands since I've been away, boy. You ain't got no plans. You know, like, no. And I'm like, you know, and I'm like so young. I'm like 10 years old. I'm like 11, you know, and they're like, come and sing that tune for us, man. You know, that Mary J one. And that was back in the 90s. But I was young and I had the voice and I could sing it. So I was singing Mary in the 90s and Play Center, and, you know, I've got a friend that's made it. Like, he's really famous. And we went to the same play center, and that's what I'm saying. Like, all the people that I went play center with, it was like a performing arts school back in the day. They've all made it. They've all made something of themselves, man, in the industry somehow. All the people I was connected to back in the day, my performing arts college, are either acting or they're on radio, like doing up Capital Effect. You know what I mean? Like, the people I was around, but it's just sad. It's just sad because the cult isolated me. Yeah, 87, my love. How about you? That's what they do up, man. It's so sad. All right, so this is how colonial actualization of BLK women still haunts the church space to this day, as hyper actual and Jezebelic. This is so deep. That's why he sees his mum like this. Is it all making sense? His mum's most likely hyper religious, goes to these settings. So she's the type of women that we find in these settings. This is why I'm talking about this, so we can connect all the dots, because he is like the man them that you find in these spaces. Do you understand? Have I got this inside out? I've got my gown inside out. I said, have I got this inside out? Oh, well, it is what it is. I was rushing. 80s, 90s were a vibe. Yeah, they were a time. So this is how colonial actualization of BLK women still haunts the church space. So we still see this stuff going on within these settings because of the colonial actualization of BLK women. And what is the result? Women internalize the belief that their natural embodiment is spiritually defective, which keeps them obedient and self-policing. So it's like they have more of a more control over women. And that's when it gets into like what you should wear. Oh, you shouldn't wear this because you're curvy. You have to wear things. And it's all about control. Intersectionality of race, gender, and skin tone. Let's get it. Colorism inside the cult. So because cults often chase legitimacy in a white supremacist society, they present respectable BLKness to the outside world. So it's palatable BLKness. This means lighter skinned women are closer to whitiness, more trusted in visible roles. Darker skinned women are hidden, disciplined more harshly, or kept in service roles. Another element to this is the cultural element, yeah? Because I've known like the members that were of Ghanaian descent, they were treated so much worse because it's like they're from back home and it's the way their parents treat them. It's very, they can come from very ABUSE homes where there's a lot of control, a lot of narcissistic and a lot of gaslighting. So they get treated really badly and they get exploited because you know a lot of these young people, their mums treat them like servants, like workers, and they're raising all the kids and cleaning the house. So when they come into these spaces, they naturally fall into those roles. Oracle mama in the cut, where they're like slaves in the cult. They just exploit them because their mum's done that. Their mum's done that. Instead of that mother nurturing her child, there was a girl like that. She's still in the cult. Her mum's a caterer, and she would be cooking. The mum would get her to cook pots of rice for the church, for the catering. She'd be on her feet working. So the first lady stole her from her mother and started using her for her service to do everything: clean her yard, cook for the kids, look after the kids, her personal like house girl. Because a lot of aunties have raised their daughters to be house girls, not queens. House girls, Pygmishas, Barbara the Builders, women that wear ABUSC as the crown. And a lot of these women don't want to face the reality of that. So instead, they'll hide in hyper religiosity and fake humility and fake Proverbs 31 archetype when they couldn't be further from the truth. All right. And that's why I'm here. I'm here because God wants them to hear some real home truths in the car. And those that have an heir will leave and be free and live fulfilling lives. But those that don't, unfortunately, will be in the old earth and be trapped in that self-sealing system until the day they unalive. And thereafter, they will find out the truth. Double oppression for darker skinned women. So you've got to remember that darker skinned women experience that in the world. This is an exasperation of that because it's in a self-sealing system. So it's less opportunities. So out in the world, they're competing with millions of people. In the church cult, it's 10 gal for one role. They don't even give you opportunities. They'll just put Karen in there, who's been in for like 2 months. You know, Priscilla's been in there for 3 years. She's never sung a solo, but here Karen comes along. They're going to put her at the front to lead because they want that front-facing position to attract other women like Karen to come to the church, because international, you know, status means having Karens in these settings, so they can go back home and, you know, envy and boast in the fact that they've got Karens in the church cult. That's why they'll have 500 people, BLK people like me, and then they'll have a handful of Karens in the church cult, but they'll make sure that they put them on their church cult promo, their leaflets. These people could have visited the cult for one day, that it could have been their Sunday, they could never return, and they will have them on the promo. That's how desperate they are. It's sad to see that, you know, we eat ourselves so much that we're still in these environments in 2025. We're still enslaved. These porters, these monks, they're not doing nothing. There's no generational wealth. It's generational wealth for their own family, for their own legacy. Thanks for the follow, Lisa. For their own legacy, for their own fact. They don't human fecal matter on anybody else. Do you understand what I'm telling you? Like, where is the generational wealth? Where are the community centers? Where do you know how many people are homeless? How many people don't have accommodation? How many, they could be building accommodation for members of the church. They could be giving out grants, helping people to set up their business, creating generational wealth. But what do they do? Take all the money. And they store up all the money you're giving them. They're storing up all of them treasures. It's sitting in a bank account. Where is it? Whose money is it? How do they get access to it? What are they doing with it? Whilst you're building and storing your treasures in heaven like an idiot, buying invisible blessings and believing that they're getting stored up in heaven, they're storing all of their treasures, all the money you're giving them. Because whenever you got to do something, it's visible, it's tangible, it's monetary, it's your time, it's your effort, it's your energy. When it's them, it's a prayer. It's something invisible. It's laying on of hands. Wake up. God is telling you, wake up. It's 2025. You have ChatGPT, for goodness sake. You lot are looking so unwell. Like, guys, is it just me? Has there been a shift where now when you see them, they just look totally gone? Like, I'm just like, oh my gosh, this is so bad. Is anyone else getting that? I think because they're getting more resistance, I don't ever think that they ever thought they'd see the day when these institutions would start to collapse and crumble. And I think we're seeing like an exasperation of like religious psychosis. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like they're in Okay, there's so much I want to talk about today, Chair. What time is it? All right, I've got to go in about 20. Hypervigilance. I want us to understand this. I was driving on the motorway today on the school run, yeah. And you know when, for drivers, if you're on a bus, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. So when you're driving here and you come on the motorway and it's packed and everyone's trying to get to work, there's like 3 lanes here and everyone just comes in, and sometimes people don't indicate. There can be an accident, there could be a crash. So you've got to be hyper vigilant. So it's like I was looking, I was like, that's hypervigilance on the edge. I don't want to crash. I'm looking, I've got to do a million things. That's what they're like in there. That's hypervigilance. That's a perfect explanation. It dropped in my inner self today. I was like, whoa, that's a perfect way to explain hypervigilance to the survivors. So that's like what we're seeing right now. They're all over, they're like malfunctioning because they couldn't preempt this and their backs up against the wall. It doesn't matter what they do. People are going to see through the BS. You've got people like Mrs. and Mr. Record. That woman's very intelligent. You see Mrs. Record, she's very intelligent. And when I do the piece on her, I'm gonna absolutely I'm gonna put her on the surgical table. That's what I'm gonna do with Mrs. Record when her time comes. She better know that. I'm gonna put her on the surgical table because I don't like her manipulation is very high level. That's why Tommy and Toby Ariomi, that's her spiritual daddies. It makes sense because that level of deception, whoo, that girl's intelligent. I can see why she's made peas. Because gal like that, they have to do well in life. A man's not going to look after her. She has to do well. She has to be bringing something to the table. So she's very intelligent. She knows what she's doing. Now that she's seeing the discourse that's going on around it, what she's trying to do is sit on the fence because they still want to make money. It's all about money. These gal, they make real, man. They're not really riding out for God the way I ride out for God. Do you know what I'm saying? They're not really riding out for God. They never have, not a day in their life. They're fake. They're in cosplay. They're acting. This is someone who really knows God. Do you understand? Who will take on anyone for God, for Jesus. It's like, you're not going to mock my God. When I came out here, I said, I'm not doing it professional because this is personal. This is about my God. And I don't care if I lose respect in my professional world. I lose it. I am out here for God. I serve my God. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, I will unalive for my God. I will do anything that I need to do because guess what? When life, I was in the desert, I was in a dry and barren land, no water, no blood clot water. It was God that had my back. So will I give up entirely everything? My reputation, put all my dirty washing on the line, even things, deep hidden secrets that could possibly come out if I really blow and bust for God. Yeah, you're right. Thank you, Hayati. I like Hayati. Thank you, darling. That's a king. That's a masculine energy trying to protect the space. Thanks for the follower. Oh, that's so nice. Thank you, sweetheart. I know he's in his masculine energy because you're putting me in my feminine energy. Not many men can do that. I rate it. Impressive. You must be woke. Are you spiritual? All right. He's right. I need to calm down. Okay, so alhamdulillah. Okay. Yeah, I love my Muslim brothers. I love everybody. Do you know what I mean? The Muslim man then will take care of you, chair. And that's all I care about. It's just about provider. Do you know what I mean? I care. The man don't have to worship me. I don't care about anything else. All right. So how cults break women down. So through isolation, women are cut off from family, external support, or alternative teachings. And then there's control over sexuality. So women's clothing, dating, and bodies are tightly monitored. Purity becomes currency, and purity culture is eaten from the great culture because these women are not educated about preds. It's all flowers and roses, and that doesn't exist in our perfect bubble. We don't have any preds. We have people who have been changed. They've been washed and cleaned anew by the blood of Jesus Christ. Oh, behold, all things are new. Although you were as crimson red, as though your sins were as crimson red, they've been washed anew as snow. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like they're floating in the clouds, chair. Hey, Queen Coco, they're floating on a cloud. Do you know what I mean? They don't have any idea. So these women get taken advantage of because they're naive and easily impressionable. And these leaders and guys have access to them anytime and anywhere. And they just force themselves on them. That's the same story I'm hearing about. Not me though, because I'm a survivor of CCE. So they would have got a quite a surprise. And they knew that because I was giving testimonies of my GM affiliated days. So they didn't want none of this. Do you understand what I'm saying? But the timid girls, the second gen, the ones that don't know anything, that are vulnerable, yeah, absolutely destroyed them in there. Absolutely took it by. These man them were taking gals gal that were in there waiting on the Lord. They came in the church, to serve God. And the photographer, the keyboardist is taking their V. And then they got trauma. They got to unpack that trauma. Could you imagine? Mad. Thanks, Queen. Constant derogation. Leaders and even female enforcers, the pick-me's. So the female enforcers are the pick-me's. So that's why I said all the gal them in there, they'll turn you into a pick-me. You'll be policing the other women, telling them that skirt's too short, that skirt's too tight, go and buy another skirt. Why are you wearing that? Why are you doing that? Why are you even? And the single married ones are the worst because their husbands absolutely don't check for them. Do you understand me? So they're just in everybody and anyone's business, especially the first ladies, absolutely neglected. So the female enforcers, the pick-me's, use public shaming around weight, body, or even beauty to humiliate. So you saw that woman, the first lady that was rebuked the woman. She didn't rebuke the woman. She just embarrassed her in front of the whole congregation. That's what we're talking about. That's a very good example. Okay, these and this mirrors the plantation dynamics where enslaved women were degraded to keep them submissive. So women were degraded to keep them submissive, all right? So it's the same control that they're exerting over sexuality. Like, remember when Kim Kardashian did that photo with the glass and it was balancing on her bunda? And then we started unpacking it, like, that they used to use BLK women from African diasporas as a spectacle for the circus because of their bundas. So it comes from that. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? I'm taking this deep. I told you, like Ginge, don't chat about BLK women, innit? Because we will take you to Hades level network of hell chair. All right. So again, they degraded us historically to keep us submissive, and it's the same thing that they do in these CCs and these religious settings. Spiritual gaslighting. Any pushback or resistance is framed as rebellion against God. So women doubt themselves and surrender complete authority. That's what I said. It was like when I got divorced, it was like I didn't have a brain because my ex-husband was doing everything. That's what they want, the woman to become so codependent on the man that he controls every element of her life. And then the extra layer of the pastor and the leaders in the setting. So it is almost impossible for a woman to escape. That's why I say, if you are a so-called wife in one of these settings, make sure you educate yourself. Make sure you've got your education and your academia and your qualifications and your work experience to back yourself up. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because you're gonna need that. That's all I'm gonna say, because it's hard to leave these man then when they're being ABUSE to you. Imagine a woman, English isn't her first language. He's brought her from back home. He's married her. She's living here. He's putting hands on her whilst acting like the stand-up leader. How does someone like that get support and help? This is serious, guys. You got married couples coming and smiling. Their child's got everything, the best of everything, latest kickers, latest bag. They're pulling up in the Merc to come on a Sunday. These times, daddy's putting hands on mummy. The school's not detecting it. No one's detecting it because they're coming like the ish don't stink because it's reputation. They're masking it. So who do you think's gonna be worse off? The one who gets removed from the home, maybe goes through children's social services, or the one that's in the married home and then has to process all of that and maybe might never be married or even able to have normal relationships or even be able to have kids because of the trauma of because their family dynamic was so dysfunctional. They're so traumatized. They're afraid of having that for themselves. That's how deep it goes. That's how deep these single marriages can destroy like their children psychologically. So the answer to that is we can't say who's worse off. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because trauma is trauma and people deal with it in different ways. But don't ever think that your child is better off because you're married, because some of you lot have the most dysfunctional home environments known to man. And when them kids get older, they're going to be on TikTok talking about you. All right, my loves? Because this generation, you can't silence them. Once they start reading the knowledge and they get access to it, they just cut off the parents because they'll see them like narcissists. This generation's not ramping. That's why I'm begging it with my kids, because there's so much information out there. When my kids get older, when they're researching and whatever, I want them to see that mummy tried her best. Like I was trying to, like I'm trying to heal. I apologize to my children. I beg it with them. It's more of a friendship, but with the right balance. I want them to know, like, I really tried. Like, I'm not out here being delusional. What trauma do you have to unpack? Let's unpack it right now, right here. every day. I'm asking my kids every blood clot morning, do you feel like you have a good childhood? Are you feeling traumatized? My kids told me all the things I needed to change. And in these 6 months, I have worked my ass off to listen to my kids and to try. I'm not perfect. I'm still working through it, but it's a big improvement. So this dynamic of parenting, thank you, my love. Can you let me know when it's 1:30? It works. The old ways of doing it, putting hands like that guy. Remember that guy that's locked up? That guy from jail. He was like the way his mum used to put hands on him. He said that's why he doesn't put hands on his kids. And I just thought that was so beautiful. Oh, I love the man them though. You know, I've got a soft spot for them each and every time. So much trauma. You know, I just feel like I just want to love on them. And you know what I mean? They just love me. Me and the man them, man. We just go together. So it's sad, man. Yeah, the first creation started with a woman, but too many people struggle with the ego. Yeah, they've just lied to us about everything. We came from Adam's rib. All right, if that's what you believe, I don't. Sorry, that's why I don't believe that the canon's infallible, because I'm a goddess. There's stuff in there that just doesn't resonate. Sorry. So and there's factual evidence that does to prove that it's not infallible. There's parts in there that's factual, and I'm not saying that it's not, that words weren't inspired from God given to these people to write, but it's not infallible. Do you know what I mean? I'm not going to let you be able to use a book to mystically manipulate me and get me to buy invisible blessings and no, babe. I will use the Bible in my private time, with my private prayer time that I want to do when I feel like opening it, how I feel like on whatever day. It's not a ritual. You should be embodying the word. You should be embodying kindness. I don't need to read the Bible every day, babe. I need to check myself every day there and make sure that what's in there I'm doing up. Like, I'm not, listen, babes, if you are reading your Bible every day and you can recite me a million scriptures, but you walk past the homeless man, you don't know nothing. You don't even personify the heart of Christ. That's what I'm saying. You lot have got it all wrong. You don't understand nothing. It's not about religious. Spice, I was talking about you yesterday. It's not about that. It's all ritualistic. You lot have no heart. Hey, my love. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, you lot don't get it. You lot are the mogs are making everything about money, ego, and to control you. Do you understand what I'm saying? So you lot don't understand any of what Christ was trying to say, because he said you have eyes but you can't see, and you have ears that you can't hear. So they've seen it through a very EVIL lens. It's not, nothing's been interpreted or revealed to them through the Holy Spirit. Nothing's been revealed to God. This is all man-made psychology. That's why it's taken me 10 minutes to dismantle it. Why is it that I can dismantle what they're doing up, but they can't dismantle what I'm doing up? Why is that? Have you ever thought about that, like, logically? Like, why is there only one of me? And based off the knowledge that I'm spitting, I'm able to sow so much seeds. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, people are leaving because they're understanding. All I'm doing is shining a light. I'm just making people aware of the psychology. That's it. Because it's not God that's anointing people. It's all of the programming, the fear-based programming, the favoritism, the elitism. It's all of that. It's the mogs that are taking it upon themselves to appoint who they want. Do you understand what I'm saying? So Christianity was imposed during slavery, colonialism, to strip Africans of spiritual autonomy. Whitey ideals of femininity, fragile, slim, docile, light-skinned, became the standard. BLK women were always positioned as the opposite, strong, eggshell, unruly, therefore needing control. So again, you can see that these tones are coming out in what he was saying, needing control. That's what it was given, like the you know, like a whitey, like a lave master, like, you know, really try. It was just horrible. I'm absolutely traumatized by what I've witnessed. Absolutely traumatized. The cult setting keeps that logic alive. Women are taught to police each other, not build each other up, not empower each other, not elevate each other, but police each other, snitch on each other, break each other down. Lighter women are rewarded with proximity to power, and darker women carry the stigma and the burden. All right, so we're getting to the end now, guys, and then I'm going to be back a bit later, okay? Translation for us survivors. Here's how you can phrase it in survivor-friendly language. This is ChatGPT talking to me, but I'm just reading along. I haven't even read this. I'm reading this as I'm speaking with you. When the cult demonized African spirituality, they weren't just saying your ancestors were demonic. They were saying you as a BLK woman can't be trusted with spiritual power. So they stripped us of our spiritual power, our spiritual authority. So bad. That was a lie. When they told you to cover your hips, your thighs, your chest, they weren't protecting holiness. They were recycling atheist stereotypes that called BLK women's bodies sinful. That was never God. That was patriarchy. That's why I said to you, like, there's still certain tribes or whatever where women don't wear anything on the top. They've just got their skirts, whatever, and the men ain't lusting over them. They can control themselves. That's part of that's part of their culture. Do you understand what I'm saying? That's where we've come from. So why is nakedness seen as a sin from God? Why did they hide, guys? It just doesn't make sense. It's been tampered with. We just have to admit it. In 2025 we've got to admit it. Doesn't take away from the beauty of the Bible. It doesn't, because you just take what resonates and leave what doesn't. It's simple. It doesn't have to be that black and white thinking. It doesn't have to be like you either believe it's infallible or you believe that it's not. And maybe I will be the first one to start spaces like this where we're looking at it for, I don't know, as I heal. I'd love to set up something, because there's a real gap, because there's people that are still lovers of God like myself. I would still love to be in a setting and commune with other people and have discussions about God, but not in the way that they do it, because it is way too triggering. Like the whole praise and worship, standing up there doing it like that. It would have to be just not anything like what is here. And I don't know what that looks like. But as the time goes on, maybe God will rise someone up. Maybe God will reveal it. You know what I mean? But yeah. When they lifted up lighter skinned women and hid darker skinned ones, they were playing out Lavery scripts all over again. That's not divine order. That's colorism and whitey supremacy inside the church. So sad. So key takeaway. Church cults are not just religious ABUSE. They're a continuation of colonial control over BLK women's bodies, spirits, and voices. Survivors must see that what they experienced was not personal failure, but a systemic pattern designed to keep them small. So we've been kept small. They've been trying to dim our light, and we need to come out of these boxes. And a lot of us have, family members with this rhetoric and these ideologies, and you just need to be free. Because at the end of the day, we need to be cycle breakers. Do you get it? This stuff goes very deep, guys. Part of it, you have to look in the mirror and tell yourself, like I wasn't raised by a queen. Like, she didn't love herself. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, so I need to become that queen. You need to be truthful, because then you'll be walking around looking like an idiot, because you will be just as delusional as your mother. I got to keep it 100. I got to keep it a buck with y'all. And surround yourself with people, do you understand what I'm saying, that will make you as delusional as your mother. That's not what you want to be doing up. And then she's raised you to be just as delusional as her. So now we're going into narcissism to feed her supply of delusions. You can't even tell her the truth. I say to my kids, do I look silly? Like, my kids can tell me the truth. There's not that authoritarian. I haven't groomed them to be like how we are in the church cult. Yes, sir. Yes, men. Lie to them. Oh, mommy, you look so good and all of that. I'm not doing that up. Do you get what I'm saying? Because that's fake. You're just messing up your child, and you're teaching them to go out and do that until they get a reality shock from someone outside. Why would you want your child to have to go and learn from someone else? Get it together. Do you understand what I'm saying? These are the truths that they don't want to face, guys. Instead, they'll be like, oh, my mummy is so beautiful. You don't feel that way, girl. It's all fake. That's how they made me with my mum, because they messed up their relationship with my mum. And then I was being fake. Like, I'd just be like, oh, love you, mum. And, like, give her money, but not really mean it. Because I weren't really rating my mum like that because of all the misogynistic teachings. And my mum's never been married. So when they talk about Jezebel and this and that, I've internalized it. Like, that's my mum. Like, my mum's a 304. And the reason my mum left them men was because she was saying, F that, no, I'm going to love myself. And that's why I'm such a strong woman today. Why the fact that I'm doing this is because of the example that my mother taught me. A strong BLK woman. I'm confident in my identity and my skin as a BLK woman. I never had no identity issues. My mum helped me with all of that. My mum's a queen. That's why I'm a queen, because she's raised a queen. Do you understand what I'm saying? She's not perfect. And there's other things that I've had to, deconstruct and heal from my childhood trauma. Of course, like we'll all have trauma. But that level that's going in them homes, it's another level. Because you couldn't even talk to your parent. You couldn't even express yourself or give your opinion. So men would have taken advantage of you left, right, and center. Because your mum don't love herself. Don't you get it? That's what you need to unpack. All of the survivors that have experienced that, and I'm not talking about race now, you need to unpack that. If your mum was a pick-me and she's a Barbara the Builder, you've got to unpack it, because you will be. It's in the epigenetics. Even if you're like, no, I'm not. I'm a free woman now. Rare. You ain't. It's in the epigenetics. It's deep rooted in your subconscious psyche. You will still hate on gal if your mother is like that. Deconstruct. You have to like deconstruct your mother's trauma to be fully set free. You can't just do it at your level because you'll still be delusional. You've got to deconstruct your mother's trauma and really work out, like, you've got to like make sense of why she said those things to you. Like, how did that affect your self-esteem? How did that affect, you know, your identity, your psychosocial views that form the world? How does it affect you seeing yourself as a BLK woman in a very Eurocentric society? How does it affect you at intersectional level? Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, you've got to unpack all of that, Ma, because if not, you're just going to turn into your mother 20 years later. Your greatest fear that will come upon you. And that's why I can't throw the Bible away, because that's a scripture. That which he feared greatly has come upon him. There's certain things, there's certain scriptures in there I just can't throw it away. For the Psalms alone, I'm like, no, there's something in that book, but it has been corrupted to control man. And on that note, I'm gonna leave it, but I will get back. I will come back. The body groove. Where's all my 80s babies and my Gen Zers and my older Gen Zers and the millennials? Who knows about this one? Let the body move. We got to make the body move. Come on, y'all. Yeah. Mendes. Yeah. Ooh, you're my age mate. I'm 87. And I can see from afar that look at her. She's looking like fine wine. Yes, my gal. The millennials, we're just running things at the moment, really and truly, innit? We just had to get our pace a little piece. Now we see where we fit in this world, helping the younger lot. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because they did us dirty. They made us get into all of these relationships. Do you know what I mean? Get all these mortgages out, marry these man them that weren't married. Do you know what I mean? We got to share our wisdom, girl. We got to all be coming out and speaking out, child. Help the younger gal them to not make the same mistakes. Let them live up their life, man, because they stole it from us. Society, indoctrination. We got to stand up for the women coming behind us, man. It's a duty of care for all the queens that are coming behind us. Gal them, start speaking out, man. Start telling the truth. Let's tell them how it really is outside in these streets. Yes, Mendes. I like your Latina. Woo, arriba. Yes, my girl. Oh, Coco, you're 94. Yeah, girl. So you are definitely, oh, girl, you're more like a millennial, innit? That's almost like a millennial. You're practically, you're like my sister, though. If you got an older sister like my age, because you lot are practically, my sister's a millennial. The other day I heard her getting a prescription for her child, yeah? And the way she spoke to the guy in the pharmacy, I was like, whoa! Shit, but come on, you got a sister like me, and no one can walk all over you. Do you know what I mean? My sister don't have it, child. She's like, woo. All right, guys, let me go. Love you. I'll be back later. You might get me on the school run if I charge my phone enough. That's why I wanted to go early. What else did I have to do? I've got to be there to pick up them kids early, chair. Because my daughter's, but you know what? Just quickly, I'll share this with you. My daughter started to go secondary school and I love it. She's like a proper 11-year-old. She's not like big woman, you know, and all her friends and that. And I was like, oh, do you just want to like walk up the road? You know, like 2 minutes. She's like, no, mummy, not yet. And I was like, because I'm trying to get her to have her independence. So just walk 2 minutes down the road, I can see her as I'm driving. And she's like, no. And I just felt like, oh, I still got my baby. So I just thought, chaman, what am I doing? Let me leave her. She wants to be getting dropped off the man. It's an inconvenience for me, but you know, I just want her to be my baby for as long as I can. All right, bye guys. I love y'all. I'll be back later. You might catch me quick live on the school run, but if not, you will get me. Oh, look, it's 13. You might catch me. Yeah, you will catch me later on in the evening. Ciao. Oh, I like her. Mendes, follow my main account, girl. I've got this. Let me quickly log on for my Mendes. You got to follow my main account, girl, because the main community is on my main account, Leah Lauder 7. Okay, so I'm just gonna quickly log in. Mendes, follow this account. Okay, you know the one that's just come on. I'm gonna join as a request as a guest. So if anyone's followed me today, can you please follow me on this account? I'm just getting ready to go, but this is the account. I've got to have another device that's on it. Yeah, you lot follow up this account because this is where I put all of the updates. Anywhere I'm going live. I've been lucky on this account, but I haven't usually been able to have a consistent account where I can go live. So this is brilliant. So if I can keep this up on this will be my main account, but I'll still go I do have to go to different accounts because they come on and report me and try and get me off. So I've got to go. So follow this main account because all of the updates, where I'm going live, my content, everything, you'll find it on this main account, Leah Lauder 7. Love you all. Thank you so much for joining me, guys, for all of your gifts, for your support, for just being here. Honestly, I don't take it for granted. You know, if you weren't here, I'd be just like the Mogs and Borsters, you know what I mean? Distorted reality, giving some mad psychosis. So anyway, love y'all. Bye. Bye, TikTok. Bye. That's my long now. All right. Instagram, gonna love you and leave you. Bye. YouTube, I'm gonna love and leave you. Thank you so much for watching. Please remember to subscribe, okay? Subscribe to my channel. It really does help. And I do see the support. The YouTube community is growing. Welcome all of you. If you came across this video for the first time, oh my God! It sounded like I was going to go into the sinner's prayer. That is so triggering. You know, because I like whenever I've been in this kind of position to talk or to be whatever, it's like I think I naturally go into that kind of leadership church cult thing. So I need to, sometimes it makes me feel a bit sick. So please just subscribe. I'm going to go now. I need to go and cleanse. Bye.